In a handful of hours, Oprah Winfrey will join an online rally with Vice President Kamala Harris. The 2-hour Unite for America event will be live streamed to Harris supporters from Michigan. Organizers say the virtual rally aims to highlight the dozens of grassroots groups supporting the Harris-Walz campaign. Winfrey endorsed Vice President Harris during August's Democratic National Convention. Meanwhile, on the other side, former President Donald Trump was back on the campaign trail today. He held a rally at Nassau Coliseum on Long Island last night. The former president took time to thank those who foiled the assassination attempt.
And I want to express my thanks to the U.S. Secret Service, who was there that day, and to all of the sheriffs and law enforcement down in Florida, they're heroes who helped to apprehend the attacker.
Now, this was Trump's first event since a gunman was chased from his vicinity on a golf course in Florida over the weekend.
Meantime, false claims made by the former president have resulted in threats made against Springfield, Ohio. Today, dozens of people took to the streets in protest of those threats. This, of course, during the presidential debate with Vice President Harris. Trump claimed Haitians were eating the pets of people that lived in Springfield. People who live nearby say otherwise and are giving their support to the community.
Well, NBC 10 political commentator Sue O'Connell joining us now with that. So, Sue, last night at his rally, Trump addressed the most recent attempt to assassinate him, and he called on Democrats to really stop calling him a threat to democracy, saying it puts his life at risk. Does he have a point there?
Not really, Priscilla, but look, we can all agree that everyone, all of us, should turn the heat down a little bit on the rhetoric. But look, Democrats are not saying people should go take up arms or assault anyone. They're simply urging people to vote, which basically is the essence of democracy. So you may be asking, why are they saying Trump is a threat to democracy? Well, let's review. Trump has floated the idea that his political opponents could be jailed. He said that whatever he or anyone does on his behalf, even if it means breaking the law or is criminal, is okay. And he said he would consider pardoning the people who participated in that January 6th attack. Now, Trump has also continued to say he will not necessarily accept the results of the election in November. So while Trump and others are trying to act outraged about the claim, they also continue to act like a threat to democracy by continuing to call Kamala Harris a communist threat to America. So goose, gander, egg, chicken.
Well, so speaking of Kamala Harris, of all the things that Republicans seem to be saying about her, one seems to be sticking, and that is that she really doesn't do a lot of press interviews. Do you think that they have a point there?
Yeah, here, Priscilla, they absolutely do have a point. And I'll say this. One thing you can definitely say about Donald Trump is that he has been the most accessible president and candidate probably in history, right? It seems the Democrats have a strategy here. They want to keep Harris and Walz on a short leash to minimize mistakes, to keep them on topic. Look, Harris did give an interview to the National Association of Black Journalists on Monday, and although it was free form, she did stick very close to her prepared talking points that she's been delivering. But I'll say, at this point, I think she really should give a high-profile, high-wire interview. Hopefully it would be live. That way it could put this issue to rest.
Well, so one headline yesterday that we saw, the Teamsters union announcing it would not be endorsing either candidate. So that's the first time it hasn't endorsed anyone in like 30 years. I mean, you're familiar with the Teamsters. Your dad was a Teamster. Your mom was a union shop steward. Talk to us about why it decided against getting involved.
Well, you know, Priscilla, there are 1.3 million members of the International Brotherhood of Teamsters. And with an endorsement, a lot of things come along with an endorsement. Members are expected to phone bank, door knock, and hold signs for the candidates that their union endorses. As a child, I held many a sign with my parents at polls for the candidate that their union endorsed. So if we look at this, it's a loss for Harris. Even though she got some votes from the Teamsters board and Trump got 0 votes from the Teamsters board, it wasn't a unanimous decision. And the Teamsters National Black Caucus and some local Teamster organizations, they have endorsed Harris. So this lack of endorsement, I think, says more about how the Teamsters are just a reflection of America right now. They, too, are deeply divided.
All right, Sue, thanks so much for that. For a deeper dive into the political headlines each week, tune into At Issue with our host, Corey Smith. Sue, you just saw there, and our Matt Pritchard. It airs every Sunday morning at 11:30 after Meet the Press, right here on NBC 10 Boston.